When it comes to incomplete dominance and codominance, if you already know what you're doing, you don't have to watch this video. But if you need help, here are some keys. First of all, if something is completely dominant, it will hide the recessive trait. You use a capital letter for the dominant trait and the same lowercase letter for the recessive trait. So if we cross these two traits and we get all capital R, lowercase r, what phenotype, what physical appearance would be seen? Well, if you have a capital R and a lowercase r, the capital R wins, and you have a red flower. So please write red on your paper. When it comes to incomplete dominance, the colors are stirred together. So if you have two capital R's, that is a red flower, two capital W's, that's a white flower, and you get a plant that's RW, what will it look like? Well, if you stir red and white together, you end up with pink. Codominance means that both colors are still seen clearly, but you have splotches or speckles of both colors. They don't mix, instead you see both colors. So if red is capital R, white is capital W, and you have an RW, you would see both red and white. So you can put red and white, spotted, speckled, splotched, something like that. Snapdragons are incompletely dominant for color. They have the phenotypes red, pink, or white. The red flowers are homozygous dominant. So if the red flowers are homozygous dominant, they're dominant, so we use a capital R. Homozygous means two of the same, so that has to be RR. So that has to be capital R, capital R. The white flowers are homozygous dominant, therefore they also get a capital W and two of the same. And the pink flowers are heterozygous. Hetero means different, so you have an R and a W, and both are still capitalized. Now let's show the crosses between the following snapdragon parents using the Punnett square provided, and record the genotypic and phenotypic percentages below. If you have a pink and a white flower, the pink flower is RW, and the white flower is WW. Now do your cross, and fill in your genotypes and phenotypes. The first genotype we get is RW. We get two of those, which means we have 50% of the plants showing up as RW. The phenotype, the physical appearance of RW, is pink. And 50% of your flowers will be pink. WW is white. We have two of those out of four, so that's a 50% chance. And that means 50% of the flowers will be white. Notice I don't need the third genotype because there isn't a third genotype in this particular problem. But in one of the next two, there will be three. The other one, there won't be as many. Number 16 through 24 is very similar to the previous page. So I think you'll be able to figure out this problem. Remember, brown horses are BB, white horses are WW, and palomino horses are BW. They have a kind of speckled look. In order to answer question number 26, look back up at either your Punnett squares or at your percentages and see which combination makes the most palomino horses. Finally, you'll do the same thing with cows. Black cows are BB, white cows are WW, and Holstein cows, which are black and white, are BW. To make sure you're on the right track, let's look at what happens when we cross two Palomino horses. Remember, Palomino is BW. So draw your Punnett square, put a B over one column and a W over the other, and a B on one row and a W on the other row. Now do your cross. And now we're ready to list off the genotypes and phenotypes. The first genotype we get is BB. This is brown, and 1 out of 4 are brown, so that's 25%. The next genotype is BW. We have 2 out of 4, that's 50%. BW means Palomino colored. The third genotype is WW. This will result in a white horse. And there are 1 out of 4, so once again that's 25%. That's how you should fill in this middle one. Then you should be able to get the first and the last.